Hi guys, I thought we would start this series first. I'm just using my cell phone, so the audio is not going to be great, okay? But I thought we'd start it off by clearing up something about Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, who has passed into glory recently. God rest him and bless his family. Um, I know it's not easy to lose someone, and especially somebody so precious and so loved by many. Uh, what I want to clear up is that contrary to popular belief at different times in history, because I don't think it's so prevalent now. I think that young people are more enlightened and prone to doing some investigating than people were back in my day. Remember, I'm 56, graduated in 86. That should tell you something. You know, it was so much more occult like. People didn't understand. If we wanted to know something, we had no internet. We had to go to the library, where I spent a lot of time ever since I was allowed to walk to the library. I was a kid, and I studied everything I could. Ozzy Osbourne was a Christian, and he is in the glory now. And even though he was called the Prince of Darkness because he branded himself that way, he was a Prince of Light. His own family will tell you, or you can look up their quotes. He had a Bible and he read it. And before his performances, he prayed, and others prayed with him for safety, protection, and success. But just as an actor is not the role they're playing, I mean, in real life, do you think the people that are in the shows like Breaking Bad are actually those people? They're not. But the reason why I want to clear it up is because he's such a lovely person. I haven't seen a single negative thing written or stated about him. I don't tend to surround myself with any ignorant people anyway. And the moment I detect it, I shut it down. But Ozzy Osbourne was a Christian. He was raised in the Church of England. I'm not sure how much more Christian you want to get. And though I don't believe I've ever read that he attended church regularly, neither do I. I've often found, and I'm not criticizing anybody who does go to church regularly, but I've often found that the churchiest people who just, gotta be there, the ones that, which ones, put on the show so that everybody sees them there on Sunday, and they are wicked, wicked, wicked Monday through Saturday. They're the ones out there casting spells and doing the evil eye thing, and instead of wishing for everybody to be happy and healthy and to find joy and bliss and peace in their life, they're out there wishing revenge and hate on perceived slights and whatever else is up their ass, really, because that's what it is. So that's one that I wanted to address right there. I wanted to distinguish that. Also, makes me think a little bit about Stevie Nicks, that everybody adores. Anybody who knows her music and her stories knows that she's a wonderful human being. But there was a time that because of different costumes and even misinterpreting lyrics to songs and misquoting them, they didn't actually know the lyrics. When I was a kid, a girlfriend and I were at a record store in Los Angeles at a mall, and I'm not going to say her name. She was so innocent. She freaked out and thought that Stevie Nicks was a witch. I thought she had a badass costume on, a beautiful white costume. The album is Belladonna. Look at the art. It's gorgeous. Stevie Nicks herself, I remember reading this somewhere. She was so sad that people thought that she was some kind of black witch, that she changed her costumes and her appearance a bit so that people wouldn't judge her by her costume choices. And she's another brilliant, brilliant person that I hope lives so long. I hope we have her with us so long. I mean, we lost Ozzy early due to a disease that took his body. But he was a wonderful, wonderful person. I'm sure that he gave his wife a run for her money. If you ever have a chance, look up the original show, The Osbournes. You probably... I mean, he was so funny, so funny. And a keen eye will take note that there are crosses on all the walls, just about everywhere. And it wasn't because he lived in any fear. No, It's because he was very close to God. So next we'll move on to the difference between black magic and white magic. I don't practice any kind of magic myself. I know about a lot of different magics because I've studied them, because I didn't understand why anybody would want to hurt anybody. I, of course, am a human being, and I've felt anger and resentment at times when people didn't understand me or they judged me by, the way I look or my personality. I can't help who I am. But we're going to distinguish between the two because there are people that practice magic, I've got a magic wand that my son bought me. I love it. It's great. I did magic with my vacuum cleaner recently. But I love the Harry Potter movies. Doesn't make me a witch. It makes me a person who loves entertainment. And there are people that practice white magic. And let's just quickly do a quick overview. What is white magic? White magic is anything that heals, that helps. White magic is anything that is benevolent. It is not malevolent. The moment you see somebody saying that there's some kind of white witch, but they're doing terrible spells and wishing harm on people, you've got something else. You have a wolf in sheep's clothing. Now, black magic is exactly what it sounds like. That's when people go to practitioners or practice on their own and they want revenge. They want to hurt you. They want to hurt somebody. They're angry. They do bad things. They want to hurt you because you're breathing, or maybe they don't agree with you, or you took their girlfriend or their boyfriend, and they go all kinds of woo-woo, like in the worst way. A level of psychosis is probably present, There are people that I do know stories of that were successful in doing some very negative things to people, but not because they were so powerful. Usually it's because that other person has been weakened in some way. There is a crack. There's a chink in the armor. Think about the saying, put on the armor of God. It doesn't mean you have to saddle up a horse and, wear a full suit of metal. It's just knowing that when you're close to God, the Holy Spirit, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter which religion you subscribe to, the divine is the divine. When you stay close to Jesus, even though people can, hurt you a little bit, scratch you with their words, or, hurt your heart with their cruelty, they could never really hurt you. We'll get into some of the other interesting things that I know. We'll be talking about that soon. See you in a minute.